Speaking of big goals, let's talk about a big guy, Big Thanos, the Browns' 4th-round pick out of Ohio State, the one, the only Dawand Jones, who continues to impress day by day, whether it's a preseason game, a training camp practice, a joint practice. The reports on this kid so far have been pretty spectacular.
Did you just call him Big Thanos? Is that his nickname?
That's his nickname.
Yeah, that's what they call him.
Thanos killed half the universe.
I think
Does
he
he
could.
really want that nickname?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a badass nickname.
I want all my linemen and defensive linemen killing everything.
You know, that's a great point because this has been a soft as a baby's ass team.
Yes, it has.
And they need some guys to be bad guys.
Yes.
And I
They
think
need some nastiness.
I don't know
Fair
what his
point.
personality type is like. Usually some of those big guys are just like big teddy bears.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what he's like personally. Haven't talked to him, but his first impression, I remember when he came in here, he was the guy that was thrown up on the field in minicamp, right? He couldn't get through the practice. And everybody was saying, whoa, wow, this guy is out of shape. Mm-hmm. And so my arrow was pointing down on him after that.
Yeah.
Even though I liked him, I liked his size, and I thought, he's going to be a long-term project. Let's see what happens in 3 or 4 years. But, man, I've completely changed my mind just watching him in 2 preseason games. Now, I think he took every snap for the offense in the first preseason, and he didn't take every snap in the second preseason game, but he was out there a lot. Did you guys see the Brian Baldinger breakdown?
I did.
He loves them.
Yeah, he
And
went.
by the way,
if you want it, we have it.
You know what? I think it's worth
me get
playing.
that.
I think Baldy is one of the best in the business with his breakdown.
Especially offensive line.
He's he knows that position. Go ahead and play it. I think.
Do
it's
you
worth
want
it.
the Jets breakdown or when they played the Commanders breakdown?
Give me the newest one.
Yeah, the Commanders one was
he was
interesting.
going nuts about him on both of them.
Yeah, but he did point out some deficiencies.
Mistake, yeah.
So play the Commanders.
Fingers crossed for tag board. Say a prayer.
That's
No chance.
Let's go.
The Browns are giving a lot of snaps to Dawand Jones, and for good reason. He's playing good football, showing awareness of the blitz coming off the edge. All right, so he's seeing things. They just cover up inside. All right? Now, you watch this right here, and you go, this is a twist stunt. End tackle twist. All right, get the back the hell out of the way. He just knocked off his guard. All right, now, they give up a sack here. They can clean that up. No big deal. What you love right here, he's got his left paw is in Cleveland.
I love that.
His right paw is in D.C. Like the guy takes up space. All right? Now, right here, his set is just good and consistent. It's just good.
Patty cake.
Like it's a good punch. All right? Good hands. Long arms. All right? You love it. Now, you can't do this. Look at the size difference between him and the tight ends. He can't go the wrong way. Okay? He knows that. Like you just tell by the reaction after the play and the back taking, dang it. All right. One mental error, that's all you get. But this is patty cake.
Stonewall
he's
Jackson.
good at it. All right? He's going to get a lot of reps.
Who's
he might
on
be
him
the
there?
right
That
tackle
wasn't Chase, was
before
it?
I don't think it was.
I couldn't tell who
Is
was
that Tyler
blocking
Scott?
there.
It was not Chase. Hey, real quick, because that was so good and we love Baldy, you want to watch the Jets one too, just so
Throw
people
it in
get
there,
the full
'Cause,
context of what he's
listen, I
done
can watch
so far?
Baldy's breakdowns all day long.
All right, so here's the
his
Jets.
jacked
Tag
up
board worked
fingers.
once.
Oh, he's
Tag
got
board,
the
let's
worst one
work
I've
again,
ever seen.
baby.
He and Torrey Holt.
Let's drop in on Big Thanos. Dawand Jones here. Played every snap on Thursday night. Look at his hands and his feet. It's like right out of Joe Thomas's playbook against an elite rusher in Bryce Huff. Bam! All right, just swallows him up.
He looks tiny
All right, now,
compared to him.
let's watch him here against the Jets' #1 pick, Will McDonald. One-on-one with the Jets' #1 pick. Short set. There's the punch and a snap. Snaps that head. Likes to almost aim for the neck. This is Cleveland Brown football right here. Here's Gossett at right guard. Luke Whippler at the center. Watch this here. This is what it's supposed to look like. Bam! There's the punch. Here comes Gossett. Bam! Just look at the victim right there. That's Cleveland Brown football. And then you get the game-winning throw from Dorian Thompson-Robinson, right? Here it is. Watch the set on Bryce Huff. Bam! There's that consistent set.
And look at the gap
Bam,
that he was
punch.
giving up off the line.
This is a great pass rusher off the edge. Look at the length that he has. Look at the length. Look at the separation. He's on an island so that the quarterback can make this throw for the game winner. Had to be impressed by Big Thanos.
You know what? Good call, Mike. I'm glad we showed both of them because it really does give you sort of a example of this. It's not just size. His technique and his skill set, they're on point.
Yeah. The question with Dawand has always been maturity. That's been his big. That's why he fell as far as he did.
Well, he won't be 22 forever.
No, and if he takes hold of this, if he realizes the opportunity that's in front of him, if he grows up a little bit, which it seems like he's doing, the Browns could have something here.
Yeah.
But it's too early to declare that he's arrived.
Sure.
But certainly you have to like what you've seen. I mean, I agree. I think Baldinger is one of the best in the business at doing this. And if he loves the guy, who am I to say no? I'm just telling you, the reason he fell so far was maturity issues, and he's kind of a teddy bear sometimes, and he's got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And if he does that, then they could have something here.
Well, I think he mentioned Joe Thomas and how it sort of mirrored his stance there with his hands.
Yeah.
I hope that the Browns tap into Joe Thomas in whatever role they can. I know he's not. He's paid by the team to be the color commentator for the preseason games, but I think there's a role for Joe as a mentor to Dawand, and I don't just mean on the field. I think he can dramatically help him on the field, but teach him how to be not just a pro, but a great.
Yeah.
Because I think the skill set, that the piece of clay for him is there to build a Picasso, but he needs guidance, I think.
And that's why, Mike, I'm ready to make a trade.
Wow. You've seen enough already. You're going to do
it,
Jack
Paul.
Conklin.
Let's do it.
Let me tell you something. I take almost nothing from the preseason. I generally don't care about it.
Yeah, you don't.
So I'm not overreactionary ever when it comes to this stuff. However,
There you go, dog.
I thought about the Browns.
Take a shot of Kool-Aid.
Hold this real
I
quick.
thought about our conversation.
You can hold the can.
There you go.
Hold
I'll
that.
drink some Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I thought about our conversation about linebacker, and then I saw the PFF grade, but I still think the Browns could use an upgraded linebacker. And so this morning I went and I said, okay, who's a team that has a good linebacking core and a bad offensive line but that is trying to win? Like, I wasn't going to go to Arizona, but they don't really care about winning.
No.
So what's a team that's competitive, pretty good, could be a playoff team, bad offensive line, needs a tackle? Because even if Dawand Jones, let's say it doesn't go perfect, the Browns have a lot of depth on the offensive line. All right, and so I think you can make up for it there. They have no depth at linebacker, and they could. Most importantly, what do they need at linebacker? A guy who can stop the run, who can make those tackles.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me this trade.
So here's my trade, Mikey. Put it up on the board here. So Jack Conklin and a 5th-round pick to the Seahawks for Jordan Brooks. Now, Jordan Brooks
is a tackling machine.
Was a 1st-round pick of the Seahawks. Now, he hasn't been great in Seattle because he has struggled against the pass. That's been his Achilles heel.
Right.
But I'm not worried about that. I want him to go tackle guys. And that he has been excellent at. If you look at his overall PFF grade from last year, not very good. It's like I think he's around 60. But if you look at just his run grade last year, it's very high. This guy, they did not pick up his 5th-year option. So now, does Seattle want to take Conklin? I know if he has a concussion, this would be off. But Seattle, they're a competitive team. They were in the playoffs last year.
Sure.
They've got a loaded offense, but their offensive line stinks, especially at right tackle. They have nothing at right tackle. Jack Conklin, if healthy, would be an upgrade for them.
And didn't they just pay Smith?
They did pay Smith.
So let's protect him.
Exactly. And
I don't hate that bull. I got to tell you, in fact, I don't know that the Seahawks would do it.
I'm not sure if they feel like they need I think they need a tackle, and they have one of the better linebacking groups.
Right.
Brooks is a decent player, but not a great player.
Is that contract tradable?
That's the only thing. And that's why I had the Browns giving up a better draft pick.
Oh, you mean Conklin's contract?
Yeah.
That's why I had the Browns giving up a better draft pick, but maybe they have to take on another contract from Seattle, something else instead. I don't know.
Jace, what do you think of that?
I don't hate it for either side.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I'm trying to, I hate the who says no question, but I'm trying to see, on that deal, who says no. I don't know that the Browns – I think the Browns don't do it because we just said linebacker is the least important position on that defensive unit, and it's so hard to find tackles. I mean, the fact that we thought Conklin was going to retire and they gave him a 4-year extension.
Yeah.
That was mind-boggling. I still don't understand
I didn't
that,
understand
Jason.
it. I don't like it.
And I don't think that we've seen enough out of – if you're saying Dawand is the starting right tackle.
It's risky. I'd make him the starting right tackle.
I don't think that we've seen enough yet to say that –
It's not a sure thing.
Listen,
it's not a sure thing. But if I told you right now, would you rather have Dawand Jones starting at right tackle and Jordan Brooks at linebacker,
I think I would say yes.
Conklin and
whomever,
Kanasic or because other guys might not be ready? I think I'd go with that.
Trust me, when he's talking about Dawand Jones from a sheer physical standpoint, this dude has, and I'm not saying it lightly, he has Hall of Fame traits. When you are a basketball player,
Wait a minute, that's
hey, listen, that's a
Traits, yeah.
Well, that's like what I said. The chunk of clay.
It's beautiful.
And we haven't even mentioned Bill Callahan here.
He punched as an offensive lineman, the first thing they tell you when you go to the combine is they're looking at reach.
Right.
It's just like a wing, a small forward. They're always looking at their wingspan. They want their wingspan to be
Doesn't
7
he have
foot.
the biggest the NFL has ever seen?
When you have a wingspan like that and can punch a guy and sit in your stance, that means nothing he's trying to do to you. Swims don't work, bull rushes don't work because he has the first meaningful contact every time.
And he's a good athlete, even though he looks,
and his footwork. When you look at his kick slide, he's beating that guy to the point every time.
And he was giving up 3 or 4 yards on the gap and still got to his point.
And I'm not going to say that he's a guy who is going to be a Hall of Famer or whatever the case is. But look, you look at his reps. Watch his reps in college. Look at these reps right here. Who's this? Nope, stop. No, please stop.
That's Brandon Graham too.
And so my thing is, to me, he has better traits than Jedrick Wills today.
Wow.
To me, he's a better overall prospect than Jedrick Wills, and he went 10. And to me, he showed more consistency because just like we had Tag Board Fool, they didn't give me my Tag Board Fool yesterday when Jedrick Wills got pushed in the backfield. We can't even get that yet.
It broke Tag Board. It
was so bad. I'm just saying.
So I'm looking at the trade, Bull, and I do like the idea. I like the creativity. If I had to guess who would say no, I think it'd be Seattle. They drafted Abraham Lucas in the 3rd round last year. He made the PFF's all-rookie team at right tackle.
I thought they had right tackle play last year.
He had a 70 grade. It's right in the middle.
And for a first-year guy, now going into year 2, that's when you expect to see the big
That's a bad job out of me. I thought I had read that they had a bad right tackle situation.
They also, at the same time, it's a young guy. He wasn't a super high draft pick. They drafted Charles Cross, their left tackle. He was the 9th overall pick. This was a 3rd-round pick.
Right.
And if they do think they're a little more protection away from making a deep run in the AFC,
in the NFC West.
Yeah, PFF had them as the 30th best offensive line coming into this year.
Well, the point that Mike makes is 70 grade as a rookie. You expect year 2 to be a big jump.
Maybe he can play guard. I don't know. Listen, that part of it is a flaw, no doubt. And the one thing I was also thinking is that Seattle could take the money because they're not paying their quarterback a ton of money. Yeah. He got paid, Gino, but he's not getting paid like a big-time quarterback.
No. You know who's upset with that deal the most? Jack Conklin, because they're building their forever home here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll be here. Jack will be a lifer in Cleveland.
Wow.
So that would upset him.
Well, it felt like a safe bet when they extended him.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Let me ask you guys this real quick.
I really don't.
About Dawand Jones. And you could take significant, however you want to take it. Significant could be a goal line guy, but it's still a significant part of the package. It could be he actually plays legitimate snaps. Do you guys foresee Dawand Jones being a significant part of this offensive line this year? Or is it just too early to tell?
Significant is really, that's too strong a word for me to say yes. So if you're asking for a yes or no to that question and significant is in there, I would say no. You'd have to forecast an injury.
I mean,
because he's not gonna win the starting job, Jason, is he?
No.
But the Browns have a lot of injury-prone players on their offensive line.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you want to forecast an injury, which is, that's possible, these guys get hurt, Conklin's getting older, then he could play a significant role. But based on skill set and depth chart, he's not going to unless there's an opportunity because of an injury.
I don't agree on skill set. I think about depth chart, yes.
I love that your answer because I think I agree 100%. Significant's too strong of a word for me to use. But Conklin's had a ton of injuries. There's a very real chance that he misses 3-4 games this year at some point. And maybe Dawand's ready. And by the way, I can't believe I'm saying that because after the draft, I'm like, this guy's a year or 2 away.
We all thought
at least.
Yeah.
And so if he's coming as fast as it looks, and again, it's early, and so I'm not ready to declare where you are with him yet. But
I'm not even saying he's a sure thing. But
you want to trade the starting right tackle
because I don't think the starting right tackle is very good.
Well, I think he's old. There's no doubt that his best years are behind him.
Hey, man, when you start getting, I'm going to tell you what, when you start getting guys like Baldinger spot shadowing your preseason games.
Yeah, that's big.
that means guys understand that have been around this league that this guy has some unique stuff going on. And I didn't see him spot shattering Jedrick Wills. He's been here 3 years.
And if he did, it would be a bad spot shatter.
Yes.
Let me ask you something that we touched on yesterday that I'm dying to get your thoughts on. The NFL has evolved to where your defensive line, it's almost being used like bullpens in the middle of games anymore. You know, these guys are shuffling in, shuffling out, and it's worked. Teams have had a lot of success with that, and now it's a trend. You don't just have 4 solid defensive linemen. Look what the Browns did in the offseason. They've got a deep rotation, and these guys are going to have fresh legs in the fourth quarter because they're all going to get significant blows during the game. Why is it that the NFL hasn't caught up and said about the offensive line, you know what? Why don't we get situational with our offensive linemen? And I know some will say, well, you're going to telegraph what you're going to do if you've got to run offensive line in. Well, hell, on 3rd and 17, everybody in the building knows what they're going to do anyhow.
Yeah.
Why don't the offensive lines begin to rotate guys in? Because in that scenario, I could see Dawand Jones getting a significant amount of time.
Mm-hmm. I think G would be able to answer this better than me, but I think it's a timing thing
Chemistry?
with linemen. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up yesterday,
yes,
too.
Yes, absolutely. And I also think defensive linemen exert more energy than offensive linemen do.
Yeah,
Just in
no
terms,
doubt.
and so these guys, it's almost like hockey lines have to change out faster because of the energy that you're exerting.
Sure.
D linemen don't have to learn anything. All we know is what gap I'm in, go.
And go.
and read and go. Now, offensive line specifically to his answering this question is because when you look at some you notice right here, they didn't have a lot of twist text different things coming up.
Right.
When you got an offensive line, you got a center. The center is going to tell everybody up front what the protection scheme is. Then it's up to the tackle to work with his guard to say, okay, well, I think we got a twist or a text coming, or I think we got a linebacker coming, so they can pass things off. So you need to have a rapport with guys to understand how they work. Footsteps need to be in it's like choreography.
Yeah.
It's harder to do that for a pass, but you can
It's
do
more
it
of a unit.
in the
the
run
offensive
game.
line.
In the run game, it's easier to do if you wanted to go to big
Kid,
package.
Dawand Jones, from a physical standpoint, would he be capable of playing left tackle, in your opinion?
Yes, he would, but it would take a little time because his kick slide is different.
Okay.
You got a different foot up and a different foot back. So some people are more comfortable with a left-handed or a right-handed kick slide, but could he do it? Sure.
I don't understand. Somebody asked Kevin Stefanski. I was listening to his press conference. I don't know if it was yesterday or it's probably yesterday, sometime recently. And they asked him specifically, are you working Dawand Jones in practice at left tackle at all? And he said no. And it wasn't followed up on. And I'm thinking, we're talking about, well, if Jack Conklin gets hurt, he's going to probably win. But if Jedrick Wills got hurt, Jack Conklin doesn't play left tackle.
No.
So why
I would think Jones would be the.
I think.
Are they going to use Hudson?
Probably.
Hudson
They
played
have.
left tackle in college, so
But
he'd
I
probably be the guy.
Guys, again,
Yeah.
there was so much, he went in the 4th round for a reason. I don't think you want to overload him right now and start making him learn left tackle as well.
a
It's
little more
baby
difficult.
steps.
It's a little more
It's baby
difficult.
steps with him
Because
right now.
what
And he's
happened-
off to a great start, and applaud that. That's great.
Yeah.
Because what
Let's
can
not
happen,
overload him.
What
Yes.
can happen is when you go to the left side, it's a different angle. He's been playing right tackle his whole life, so he has those
So
angles
is
down.
Jedrick Wills, and it hasn't gone well for him at left tackle.
And Joe Thomas says that a little bit. He says Jed played right. It's going to take him a little time to get to the left and learn how to play that left tackle position. And he's doing well. He's got an 84 grade right now. If they were in the pinch, all bets are off.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play.
Could he play guard in a worst case scenario?
God, I don't see how he
Dawand,
could.
I think he's too big.
Yeah, he's just
Too
too big.
big?
He takes up too much space.
I mean, I think so too, but
I
I'm
would-
curious
I
to a
would-
guy that.
Mike said he's going to catch a touchdown pass this year or run one in as a fullback. You see that, Jay?
Well, they had a play last year for Michael Dunn as the 3rd tight end who would have been an eligible receiver. There was a play in there for him to catch a
If he
touchdown.
catches a touchdown pass, forget it.
I'll tell you, he is.
He becomes an instant star
He
in the
is.
city if he
He's
catches
probably
a touchdown
not,
pass.
but that's.
I would-
what are the odds of that?
I would put him in a game on
would
my
you cover him?
on my heavy packages.
Yeah.
He would be in at all times on my heavy
He is
package.
the heavy package.
I got him.
He averaged 12 rebounds. Like, the dude's got hands.
Yeah,
If you
that's
could-
what I like.
Got
about him.
hands.
Yeah.
If you can play basketball, that's the scariest thing in the world. Like if you see an offensive lineman that played basketball
Orlando Pace.
or was a former D lineman, you know you can't use no stuff. He's just as athletic. You might be more athletic, but he has athletic ability.
Close enough.
The on-field stuff is there with him. So whether you love that or hate that, I just think you would love that. It's not a question of if he can do it on the field.
Yeah.
It's off the field with him.
But did you see in that one, just him the highlight, he went the wrong way on the run play. Right? That's people don't understand, the smartest guys on the field are O-linemen. You got to know audibles, you got to know adjustments, and everything you're doing is thinking on the fly. That guy came, I got to do this. So he went the wrong way, and the guy got tackled in the backfield. So you can't have that. No. So it just shows he got to get in this book a little bit, but the physical stuff is there.
The best talkers in the locker room, offensive line.
Yep.
As reporters, you know where to go.
You go to
the offensive line.
Yep.
That's the best place to go.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey.